I the asshole for leaving my mom at the airport with no ticket and no plan? This still weighs on me. Some background. My mom was abusive growing up. It got bad enough that at 12 I left home through courts and moved in with my dad. The decision fractured our family. On the court paperwork under name of child, she wrote something like, I have no son. I have carried that with me ever since. I had little to no contact with her after that. Briefly at 17, and again in my early 20s, and not consistently until much later. I'm now almost 40. I spent over 20 years drinking heavily, finally got sober in 2018, which is when I made effort to reconnect with my family, including my mom. She's close to 70 now and has zero contact with two of her three kids. Reconnecting wasn't easy. When I asked if she ever reflected on the abuse, she told me I was an adult and needed to let it go already. That was a turning point. I realized any forgiveness will be one sided. If I wanted peace, it was on me. Since then, our relationship has been rocky but present. We've had family reunions and even traveled overseas together for 3 weeks. We argued often, usually over small things, but we stay in contact until this. Last summer, I invited her to my city to see a band she loved since I was young. The plan was simple. She would arrive on Wednesday, we'd go to see the concert on Thursday, she would fly out to visit my sisters on Friday, and I would leave early Saturday for my own trip. She agreed. When she arrived, she mentioned that she only bought a one-way ticket and would book the Friday flight later. That made me uneasy, and I reminded her several times to make sure it was booked. I thought I was clear in my wording and tone that I didn't want anyone staying in my house while I was gone. Friday came. The concert was fine, and then she told me she hadn't bought a plane ticket, and now, with prices having gone up, she planned to stay a few days while I was away. I told her plainly, I'm leaving at 5 a.m. tomorrow. You need to get on a plane. I even offered to cover the extra costs. She refused and invited herself to stay at my place. That's when I said clearly that I wasn't comfortable with anyone staying in my home while I wasn't there. She accused me of not trusting her and said she was my mother. I said it wasn't about trust. I just didn't want anyone in my house. The argument escalated. Finally, she said, Fine, take me to the airport. I think she expected me to cave. I didn't. I packed the car, grabbed my daughter, and drove her to the airport in silence. When we arrived, it felt like a standoff, like she was waiting for me to say, Never mind, you don't go. I didn't. I took her bag out, set it on the curb, and told her, If you can't find a ticket, let me know. I can help you pay for a hotel. Then I left. Months later, I'm still thinking about it. I don't think I stranded my mother with no options. I offered to cover the cost of the flight and the hotel. But I did leave her at the airport knowing that she hadn't booked a ticket. Am I the asshole?